One thing I'm understanding is it's important, instead of thinking, do I have to do? You know, make a list of things to do. I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. You look at the list, oh my God. But if instead we make a list of what we actually want, what are the outcomes? Outcomes means feelings. Like, I've got to phone this person, I've got to phone that person, I've got to do this, I've got to... Nobody wants to got to. But if we think and feel, okay, I'm going to phone this person, I'm going to feel really good. I'm going to phone this person, anyway, I'm a bit worried about it, but still, the outcome is going to be good. At least I'll know what's happening. So if we have a list of feelings, good feelings about the future, that'll help us to move forward. That's my insight about my life at the moment. Like, I decide to do something, I walk around the house and I come back and I think, oh my God, what did I do? What did I want to do? I've forgotten. I did so many things and I forgot what I'm supposed to be doing. Because I don't make a clear picture of what I want to do, what I'm going to do, and how I'm going to feel when I've done it. Life's about feelings. Feelings and desires. That's what's driving us. Okay.
Do you have a family?
Do I have a family? Well, this means no family, this color. I mean, monk, no family. Yes. And yes, there's ex-wife and kids. Kids already adult. 26, 28 in UK.
Do monks in general have families?
Monks in general have families. I would think that monks in general don't have families. But you can kind of be an ex, you know, I was in family life and then I stopped being in family life.
So there is no color for family man?
Yeah, there is, white. In our particular tradition, yeah, if somebody's in family life, then they wear white. And this means no family life, no mixing with ladies, close mixing with ladies, especially. In the Vedic tradition, the idea is that classically, the idea is that you engage in family life, until the kids are grown up. And then you gradually retire from family life. Husband and wife maybe retire together. And then maybe the man takes sannyas, becomes a monk. Maybe. But now it's different. It's not classical. We're not in the classical Vedic period. So in my case, there was divorce. So family life was halted. And my second spiritual master came and he helped me, kind of pulled me out of that situation. I was stuck. And he unstuck me. English is okay? My English is okay? You can understand? Not too difficult? Huh?
Very good.
Very
clear.
good. I was born in England, you know. There's all sorts of accents in England. Like nice Cockney, London. Like people in the street, I talk like that. And then there's a different way of talking. Like a lady walked into a shop. Aristocratic lady said, "Hey, want some pepper?" So the shop assistant said, "All right, what kind of pepper do you want? White pepper or black pepper?" He said, No, I don't want that kind of pepper. I want writing pepper." And then Yorkshire, they speak completely different. Like it's Yorkshire blessing, Yorkshire prayer. God bless me, and my son John, and my wife Joan, and my son's wife. Us four, no more. Да, descending.
Yes.
Окей, но вы
Yes.
можете разразить?
Yes. Да.
Очень сложная задача. Спасибо. Хорошо. I don't think I have much of a British accent. I've been traveling for 40 years, I guess, so I don't have so much of an accent. People think I'm from South Africa, maybe, or India, or where are you from? Any other questions? Otherwise, yeah.
Well, I'm interested in where did your interest to Vedic studies,
Yeah.
we can say so, came from, and where have you learned this, or and if here in Ukraine you have any school or some teachers?
Okay. I'll give you a short biography, okay? And then those questions will be answered. I've got a suggestion and request. How about if you move closer? You know there's claustrophobia, when somebody's afraid of close spaces. There's also agoraphobia, if somebody's afraid of wide open space. So I have agoraphobia. So if you would like to move closer. I like being close with people. Hey, you guys at the back, you can come forward. Okay.
How to destroy frames of our mind?
How?
How to destroy the frames limited of our mind?
Oh,
To be
granice. How to destroy them?
Do you have
Страшно.
some secrets?
Yes.
Will you tell them us to us?
Let's see.
Let's see how we behave.
Yeah. That's about being spiritual. There's matter, and then there's spirit. So spirit is out of the box, beyond the frame. So when we're in contact with spiritual people, then automatically limits of the mind change completely, totally. Like simple thing. Who are you?
Okay, here I am a person.
You're a person. What's that? What's a person?
Person. Okay, I can say that here I am a human, yes.
You're a human.
In general, I am a soul, which
Oh, soul. What's that?
soul, it's a substantial which who has the feelings. I can feel, estimate some things in this world. It's how to say, it's connection, mind, soul, and physical body. It's connected.
Connected. Yeah. Usually we live like body and mind. Body's like a car, like we drove here in a car today. And then mind's like a computer. But who's driving the car? And who's operating the computer? Huh?
Operator.
Operator. Okay, well who's that in your case?
It's me if I type something.
Huh, it's you. Me. I'm the person who uses the body and uses the mind. But usually I live as a body, as a mind. And I forget the person. Like, somebody's busy, like, they might be working, or they might be watching video or something. It's time for lunch. Hey! Dmitry, it's time for lunch. Hey, Dmitry, время домой. Completely absorbed, right, in the computer. So we are completely absorbed in the mind. Hey, Dmitry, time to wake up. We're completely absorbed. But when actually we listen to this spiritual people and they go, hey, Nemi, wake up. Then out of the box, out of the frame. Понятно? They teach us a new way of living, how to live as spirit in this world. We're in the world, we can't stop living as spirit. Прекрасно. We've got 40 sets of sheets and one pair of scissors. I don't think it's going to work.
Do you need help?
Yes, let us.
Now, actually, I don't think it's practical, actually, because there's 3 sheets, 2 sheets, and we need 1 sheet. We need 2 sheets cut up. All of these cut up. It takes quite a long time. It takes about 10 minutes to cut that up. Even if we had 40 pairs of scissors and we've only got 1 pair of scissors, I think we may have to do something else. Okay. Okay, I think those who have arrived, those who have arrived, those who are going to arrive have arrived. Okay, we're together. I'm going to start with a Vedic hymn. Invoking auspiciousness. This Siberian gusli. Tatiana, спасибо. So we're going to arrive. Who came in a car? Who came in metro? Who's recovered from the trauma already of coming here? Trauma. So we're going to relax and understand we have all sorts of helpers. Personally, there's all sorts of difficulties maybe. As a country, we have all sorts of difficulties. Ukraine. But there's help. We're not alone. There's angels. There's the Supreme Lord also. Whatever we call him. However we relate to him. Or them, her. So let's turn to them. And I'll sing in my language, and you can move your heart in your way. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Adikamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadhutam Harijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Vishakam Mitanscha I'll just say a bit about how I came here to EBA from the beginning. Because the program's about life, actually. Leaders of leaders. Control Alt Delete. Password. Можешь спросить? It's okay. Someone will solve it. Don't need it right away anyway. Program's called Leaders of Leaders. We know there's leaders. Leaders tell people what to do, or they help people. And leaders of leaders, they understand life, they understand people, they understand the basis of everything, what life's about. And so they help leaders. Leaders of leaders help leaders. And that's very much about life. Very much. So I can talk about my life, how it developed, because it's all part of the program. Yeah, I was born in England during the war, London. Air raids, bombs. Had a big effect on me, I know. About 5 years ago I was here, May the 9th, Den Pobeda. And we were singing, dancing in the streets, like people do. And then there was, I don't know if it was a recording, or they had real bombs and guns or whatever. Very, very heavy sound, and I froze completely. I understood that's from when I was a baby in the air raids. Parents were atheists, but they encouraged us to kind of find out what we believed, like that. So I went to Sunday school, I practiced Christianity, until I went to university, and then I kind of lost faith because, students, bad association, I learned all sorts of bad habits. I didn't know God exists or not, I don't know. In any case, so what? Didn't make any difference to me, really. So I studied, at university I started becoming interested in music. folk music. Using music as a kind of meditation. I learned different instruments. First instrument was guitar, and then this like flute whistle. I really liked traditional music, народная music. I used to meditate while I was playing, like become completely absorbed. Then I went to Africa, to Ghana. I really like traditional culture. When I was in England, there's Morris dancing there. You know, it's a traditional form of dance. You have bells on your legs and very old. Morris men means Mary's men. So there's a tradition that's from Mary Magdalene, Christ's Mary Magdalene, that she left, that she was in Europe. Anyway, so I went to Africa. I was playing drums and experimenting more with meditation, and my kind of time ran out. Instead of enjoying, I was suffering. So I was trying to find some way of calming the mind. I started seriously meditating. I read one version of Bhagavad Gita. I became sort of interested in other forms of spirituality. Went back to UK, started practicing Zen. I understood in Zen that the way to stop suffering is you stop existing. Once you stop existing, then you don't suffer anymore. So I thought, okay, I'll stop existing. So I went to Japan. That was 1971. I thought it wouldn't be spiritual to fly, so I went by train. 10 days through Russia. It's a long way. And I became a monk, practicing very seriously. I was looking for enlightenment. It didn't come. I didn't stop existing. And I found that practice and the way of living didn't really suit me. It was very formal. A lot of this stuff. I met some Christian nuns there. Les petites sœurs de Jesus. And I was charmed. They're so devotional. And then I read a book by a Russian Christian who was looking how to pray constantly. Сокровенный разговор с царицами, что-то. It's a very famous Russian book. I was really, really impressed. So he was praying constantly, and he found very exalted ecstasy and bliss, and very close contact with Jesus and with God. I was very, very impressed. And then I found that there's another form of Buddhism called Pure Land Buddhism. Instead of silent meditation, they meditate on sound. So I started meditating on sound. I had a long flute like this in a metal bowl, and I was walking slowly and woo, dong, dong. I didn't get prosvytlenia. And then I was chanting mantras also, like this Buddhist mantra, Namo Amitabha, Namo Amitabha, Namo Amitabha, Namo Amitabha, Namo Amitabha. I went on a pilgrimage trying to find people who were enlightened. I didn't find anyone. But I met somebody who had a way of looking at yourself, relationships. You look at relationships with people, starting with your mother, very early age, from 0 till 3, and then 3 till 5, and you ask 3 questions. What did I gain from this person? What did they give me? What did I give in return? And what trouble did I cause? Those 3 questions. It was intense meditation, like 2 hours thinking about your relationship with your mother, 0 till 3. It's a long time. After 3-4 days, like the mind, the heart changed completely. I realized I was totally selfish, completely selfish. I'd only lived for my own enjoyment, and I have to help other people. I have to serve other people. Who to serve, I didn't know. Anyway, I went back to UK. I tried to join up with a family again. That didn't work completely. And then I was completely on my own. I didn't know where to go. Didn't know what the next step was. But I knew it was different. So I cut myself off from everything. And I prayed, first time for 10 years probably. I prayed to God, if you exist, please help me. Because otherwise, I'm finished. I could only live spiritually, and I didn't know what spiritual life was. So next day I was walking in London trying to find a telephone box. I finally found one. I was standing there, waiting, and somebody comes out of the house opposite, dressed like this. He wanted to use the phone as well. So we started talking. I was dressed in a kimono, Japanese kimono, and I'd shaved also, so it was kind of unusual. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm looking for a spiritual life. I think I should chant the holy name, but I don't know what holy name to chant." He said, "You should come with me. We do it all the time." I said, "Okay." And that was it. 3 days later, I was shaved up. I was also dressing like this, distributing books on the street. I understood it was the next step, but it was really difficult. I wanted to die. I literally wanted to die. It was very difficult. But I kept going. When they sing, Hare Krishnas, they sing, sometimes chanting on beads, concentrating, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And then sometimes they're dancing. I like dancing, I like singing. So they start really slowly, Hare Krishna, with drums and cymbals. And then it becomes a little more lively, energetic, and in the end, they're really going. And at that time, I could feel something in the heart I'd never felt before. It was like completely new for me. I couldn't make it up. Well, this is real. That's what kept me going, actually. But also the philosophy, the teachings, just amazing. How to live, how people can live, how society can be. Amazing. Very, very relevant. I was completely charmed. Our teacher left this world in 1977. I was at Oxford University. I got a scientific degree, chemistry. So we had a conference. I started studying. He wanted his scientific disciples to show that spirit is real. And we were working together and finding so much proof. Spirit is real. Actually, spirit is the basis of life. Consciousness is not just material. This whole bluff. The universe came out of a big bang, and then mud came together and made life, and then single cells evolved, and then you get worms and fish and animals, and then here we are, Ukrainian businessmen. It's a huge bluff, gigantic bluff. Means there's no meaning in life. So Just enjoy while you can. So I was investigating that. I've studied that for the last 30 years. But also gradually, I became interested how to apply Vedic principles in real life. Vedic wisdom. Not just how to prove that material science is wrong, but what are the real principles of life. So that's been a long quest. I've been working on that for 35 years, I suppose. And the program, Leaders of Leaders, and produced the book. Huh?
Just press enter. Without password. Control, yeah.
Control, Alt, Delete,
And enter.
Enter. Very good.
No secret.
Like on my computer. So this program, I've been working with, I would say that I've only in the last couple of months really finally got to some final shape with the program, understood. It's been given to me bit by bit. Where then? So I was traveling. My first teacher left in 1977, and then 1996, his very close friend came to England, first time, and I met with him. I was amazed. Oh, it's like meeting my first teacher again. How's that? They're different people. Anyway, I was completely charmed and satisfied with. He explained what my first teacher really wanted us to understand. So I left UK, I went to India, then I started traveling. In 2000, I went to Russia first time. Our teacher, Gurudev, he kept me in India for some time, and then after some time he said, you can't stay here, you have to go somewhere else. Like really strict. Go and teach. Okay. I knew it was a game. So my friend had already gone to Russia the previous year. He said, you come with me, it's great there. Okay. So I went. Then our teacher came also. And he was so happy. He said, that staying in the ashram, that was a prison for you. He just wanted to kick me out into the world. Like, a mother bird kicks the baby birds out of the nest. And then next year, 2001, I came to Ukraine, first time. Kiev, Vinnytsia, Katovsk, Dnepropetrovsk. And every year I've been traveling in Russia and some in Ukraine, not so much. And then about 6 years ago, I realized this constant traveling, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me, and it doesn't work for the people that I'm visiting either, because they're just dependent on the traveling teacher. Better to stay in one place. But which place? I didn't know. And then I understood that I was getting more inspiration from Ukrainian people than I was from the Russian people. So I thought, okay, they were actually helping me to formulate this program. It was coming together. So then I thought, okay, I have to come to Ukraine. And then beginning of last year, I came and I stayed. Last year mostly I was living in Dnepropetrovsk. But then a friend suggested that why don't you come to Kiev? We'll make all arrangements in Kiev. So just before it's 2 years ago now. Yeah, I came to Kiev first time. When we sat in the train, I decided, okay, I'll be in Kiev now. We sat in the train. First time I heard that my first spiritual master, he really liked Ukraine. He'd never come here. He'd never been in Ukraine. He went to Russia. He spent 4 days in Moscow. And while he was in Moscow, his servant was standing in a shop. So he was dressed like this, but in white. And a young man came up to him and said, do you practice yoga? He said, yeah. He said, my teacher's here. You can meet him if you like. So this young man, Anatol, he went and he met my spiritual master. And my spiritual master spent 3 days with him, explaining what is spiritual life, what is Vedic wisdom, what is Bhakti Yoga, the yoga of love. And then my spiritual master left. And he never came back to Russia. And that young man, he began traveling and teaching everywhere. And now there's thousands and thousands and thousands of people who practice bhakti yoga. It was very, very heavy, especially during Soviet times. Devotees were put in prison, concentration camps, tortured, fed with drugs. Anyway. So he was in Russia, but he never came. My spiritual master was in Russia, but he never came to Ukraine. But I heard first time, he said, there was a leader called Ari, and Ari had a son called Ki, and Ki founded Kiev. So he said, Kiev will be the first country in the world to have a spiritual government, and something wonderful will happen. No, Ukraine will be the first country to have a spiritual government, and something wonderful will come out of Kiev. So it's like I'm walking into a prophecy. How it'll all work, I don't know. 20 minutes. Okay, that's like a potted life history. Anything else? Then I'll go on and talk about the program. Any questions about that?
It was a question about where to find the teacher.
Where to find the teacher?
Yeah.
Well, one of them's here. There are groups here teaching Vedic wisdom. There's some people who dress like this and they chant Hare Krishna and they teach you how to practice Bhakti Yoga or Krishna consciousness. Some. And then there's others who teach people how to live as individuals in society. For example, there's one called Tursunov. I don't know if anyone's heard of him. Tursunov, yeah. He's also devotee of Krishna. He's also, but there's others also. I don't remember their names. But they're teaching this wisdom, but in a more kind of gentle way, for people who are just beginning and who don't want religion. So there are teachers, and there are groups here. And if somebody's interested, I'll be very happy we can connect afterwards. We can write your coordinate down, and we can discuss more. Any other questions?
Do you now have a spiritual master?
Do I have a spiritual master? My second spiritual master left this world in 2010. So there's one senior devotee, senior teacher in India. He's 86 years old now. So I spend as much time with him as I can, like 2 months a year. But it's more difficult. He doesn't talk so much. It's not so easy to be with him as with my other teacher. But yeah. We understand we always need somebody to help us. We need a very elevated person who's going to help us. Okay, leaders of leaders. So this is ageless wisdom for the modern age. It's a universal program for everybody, for business people, for family people, for society as a whole. It's for complete human beings. Body, mind, spirit. Universal principles. I promise you it's not religious. I'm not going to try and convert anybody to anything. And it's not political either. It's timeless wisdom for success and happiness. How to help people to be great parts of something great. We want to be ourselves something great, but we want to be part of something great as well. Have to address both of those things. Why should organizations help their people to be better people? Because when they're better people, then they become better members of the organization. And when you have an organization of better members, then you've got a better organization. So more and more people, business people, leaders, they're understanding, don't treat people like machines. We're not machines. If you treat people like people, actually you get more profit. There's so much research, especially in the West, so much research on this. So leaders help people in general to get what they need, get what they want. And leaders of leaders, they help leaders. Anyone who wants to lead, they have to understand what is success and happiness, really. Just money? Is money enough? And what are needs and potential? Because people are all the time, they're fulfilling their needs, meeting their needs and fulfilling their potential. That's our whole business. We're trying to meet our needs and fulfill our potential. So what's that all about? So leaders of leaders, they help leaders in that way. There's 4 kinds of happiness. What are people looking for? 4 kinds of fulfillment. First of all, in relationships. We want better relationships. We want happiness, we want love. And then we want success, and out of success should come abundance. Plenty of what we need. Enough for ourselves, and enough to share with other people as well. Third kind of happiness, we want peace. Like now, Ukraine is actually quite it's a prosperous country. There's so many resources, but somebody wants those resources. So are we happy? No. Troubled. So we want peaceful law and order. And then finally, 4th kind of happiness, spirituality. Spirit. So what's the key? What's the key to all those kinds of happiness? That we find in traditional wisdom. Modern society is artificial. So we've lost touch with the original wisdom of humanity. So that basically, I'll just run over an overview of the program. The program talks about 4 kinds of fulfillment. Talks about 4 essential realities. Basic realities. 1 quality of life. 4 sets of practical activity. And then 5 principles of success. So basically it's a very, very simple program. It's common sense, but they say common sense isn't that common. So 4 kinds of happiness, 1 quality of life, 4 essential realities, 4 sets of activity, 5 principles of success. I wanted to give you this practical, how to find your talents, but how many pairs of scissors have you got there? It's just not enough. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. We have to talk.
We'll do it very quickly.
Huh?
We'll do it very quickly.
Actually, what I can... no, because you have to cut these out. That's the bottleneck, is cutting these out. It takes about 5 minutes, at least 5 minutes, if everybody has a pair of scissors. And we only have 4 pairs of scissors amongst 40 of you. So I can give you the sheets, and I can email you the instructions, and then you can do it at home. Okay? Okay, we'll do 1 simple exercise. That's an outline of the... now, we'll do a simple exercise, and then I'll talk in more detail about the program. Okay? Because if I just talk, it's so boring. Anyway, you won't remember anything. You remember about 3% of what you hear, and if you do something, and you remember about 20%. So, what's the most fundamental human skill? Most fundamental, most important. Huh? Speaking, thinking. Anything else? Writing.
Make a relationship.
Relationship. Okay, relationship's an area, but what's the skill?
To do, I think to plan something, to do and to do it.
Planning and doing. Okay. Anything else?
Imagine something.
Imagining. Anything else? Listening.
Are we not mixing up skills and abilities?
Skills and abilities. Okay.
Skill is something you gain based on your abilities.
Okay. Anyway, skill or ability. we have to listen. First, like from the beginning of life, you were listening. How did you learn to talk? By listening. How did you learn to think? By listening. How did you learn to do business? By listening. Correct. But nobody said listening. Because we don't listen. Did you hear what I said? So, simple. We do listening skills, and I do seminars. People, like they're in pairs, one person talks 5 minutes, and the other person just listens. That's all. It's like a completely new experience for a lot of people. One seminar at the end, I said, how often do you find that somebody really listens to you? I mean, they're just listening, they're not interrupting, they're not even judging you, they're just listening, they're there with you. How often does that happen? Someone said, somewhere between rarely and never. And then the next day, one young lady came to me, she was really excited. She said, you know, I went back home and I had a completely new experience. I said, what was that? She said, I listened to my husband. It's really important, actually. When we listen to somebody, just give our time, give our space to people, it's a completely new experience. Both for the person who's speaking and for the person who's listening also. Actually being with person, just receiving their presence. It's very, very important. It's a wonderful gift, actually. I did a counseling course. So part of the counseling course was I was counseled, like for a whole year. And counseling means you talk and the other person listens. They feed back a bit, not so much. And it was actually like a spiritual experience for me. Because somebody was listening and they weren't judging. And during the course of the week, I was like thinking, you know, all the stuff that I was going to say at the session was coming up. It's really transforming. Listening is a very, very powerful ability, powerful activity. Okay, how do we do it? It's really simple. We're going to split off into pairs. One person's going to talk, and the other person's going to listen. Okay? Listening means, first of all, open body language. Like if you're talking to me, I'm going, You find it easy to talk to me? If I'm like this? No. I have to be looking at you. Not like this. Go on, yeah, I'm listening. Go on. No. Open. Eye contact, but not, yes. Not aggressive. We're not going to interrupt. Not going to say anything. But you can, like that. Try and turn down the volume of the mind. You know, when somebody's talking, you go, yeah, I know. Yeah, I had one as well. No, I don't agree with that. And actually, we don't really hear anything. So we just turn down the mind and just be with them. Just be with them. Receive their presence. Try it. Okay? So, and you just talk about something that's important, but not too confidential. As you like. As you like. In other words, something with feeling on the one hand, but it's not too confidential. Okay? Is that all right? We can do that for 5 minutes. I'll call the time for you. So, anything. Talk about what's important in your life. Okay?
2.5 minutes, one person.
No, 5 minutes. 5 minutes? 5 minutes?
5 plus 5, I don't understand.
5 minutes one person speaks, and then 5 minutes the other person speaks. Okay? If you can't think of anything to say, just sit comfortably in silence together. You're not used to this, huh?
No.
It's fun. It's fun. It's like, what's your name now? The one who asked about thinking out barriers of the mind. Yeah. Как тебя зовут? Sveta. So Sveta was talking about how to destroy the barriers of the mind. So this is one way. Do something completely new. Okay, move into twos. Not round the table. Or stand. Okay, or stand up. Or stand up. You know, there's an animal that lives in the sea called an oyster. You know oysters? Oyster. Huh? Ustрица. So when they're young, they swim freely. And then they start to grow up and they grow shells. And then they fall to the bottom and they don't move anymore. So when we're sitting down, we're like adult oysters. So now, okay, we're free. We can move around. You can meet different people. I recommend that you be with somebody that you don't know at all. And talk to them about what's important in your life. Oh my God. Okay. In pairs. You'll be sitting opposite each other in chairs. Look, you can move these chairs. Chairs are not stuck to the floor. Anyone have any difficulty? Okay, 5 minutes. Everyone's in twos? No need now. Карточка? Говорите, что нет места? О, Боже. Окей. Знаешь, как это было?
Я там кое-что удалила. Я там кое-что удалила.
Что удалила?
Очень такое неважное.
Не надо, не будем удалить.
Потому что там вообще нет места для тебя. Вы ничего не скидывали?
Ну, наверное, давно не делал.
Давно? Ну, я удалила там. Траву вы снимали, еще что-то. Хорошо? Потому что не удалось бы снять все.
А вот мы... Нет места? А. Окей. Спасибо. Да. Качество я не отправлял. И я не получил. Я думал, что 10 дней назад уже. А знаешь что? Можешь делать комплекты. Это первая страница. Инструкции тоже. Можешь сделать комплект. Значит, это.
Первая, вторая, третья.
Да. Будем разбирать.
Хорошо. Третья, вторая, третья, четвертая.
Это не будет.
Что вот это первая, вторая, третья?
Нет, это здесь. Если... Это способ так. Тогда легко. Один за другим. Ну,
Что нужно сделать?
комплект. Значит, структур. Раз.
2,
Тогда следующий, это так, следующий будем так, чтобы не надо добавить комфорт, потому что не добавится. Pět minut, okay. Change over. Change over means first person speaks. No, change means same pair. Same pair. Person who spoke listens. Person who listens, speaks. Еще 5 минут. Ну, хорошо. Можешь попросить, да, давай.
То есть это было вообще отключено, даже не просовывали, не пошли. Сказать, что с кем да, мы ходили на это. Столы уже рядом с КГ, конечно, собирались все старые, чтобы так и это было занятие, и мы их пропускали. Ну да. Я сейчас иногда записала диктанты, просят я когда приезжаю, потому что мы серьезные плакаты. Боже, мне так написано 6 лет. Это же какой-то
Постепенно вернемся. How was your experience? What was it like to talk when somebody was really listening? Difficult to talk when somebody's listening. How this is like serious business. Why difficult? What's the difficulty? Difficult to talk. To start to talk. Ah, okay.
Actually, in nowadays, people mostly say to each other only
Superficial.
epiphany things. They share only epiphany, epiphany level of their feelings, of their thoughts, etc. Not deep emotions, not deep thoughts in our everyday life. So it was not strange, but this was, I mean, the basic of this exercise, to say to complete stranger, very personal and deep thoughts and emotions. This was for me like a challenge.
Challenge. Okay, good. You survived? What's it like to listen when someone's talking, not interrupt? Who managed to listen without interrupting? Great. What was that like?
Like listening.
Like listening. Interesting.
Not to interrupt cup, because sometimes ask question.
It is as if you're a cup
Yes.
and
Cup.
somebody is pouring water into you. That's the feeling.
And the mind continues to ask questions
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah.
To make a dialogue noise. Talk.
There always was a moment when you wanted to say something, and then you understood that no, you just listen. And but sometimes you just understand that you want to share your emotions with the person, like to support her, to say that, oh yeah, I understand you.
Sometimes we think that we want to support the other person, but actually I want support. If I just listen, it means that I'm afraid that maybe they're not recognizing me anymore. So I have to say something. Yes, I was there. Oh yes, I've been in London as well.
What about I wanted to say something to show him I'm really listening? Like
If-
I'm listening and I wanted to show him, okay, go on, I'm listening.
Yeah. Actually, if we really, really listen, they'll know that we're really listening.
I see.
They'll know. How do you show somebody you're really listening? Really, really listening.
Simple things. Do not invent something new. Just. And
Yeah.
it was also very interesting that with not interruption of your opponent, you show him actually the respect
Right.
of what he's saying.
Yeah. It's a great gift, actually. It's really a sign of respect. I'm not putting myself in the way. I'm here for you. Try it with your partner. Try it with your kids. There's anyway, that's just the beginning. Then, if you want, like for example in conflict, you can listen to somebody and then you repeat the essence of what they're saying. Like, I'll give you an example. I was in Siberia, so there's one young couple, very nice people, I really liked them a lot. They hadn't spoken to each other for 3 months or something, not much. So I said, okay, let's sit down, we'll talk. So I said, you speak, and she's going to listen. And then she's going to repeat what you've said. And I just sat there. So he spoke, she listened, and then she repeated what he'd said. Yes, okay, I'm satisfied. Okay, go on. Like that for 10, 15 minutes he was talking. Sometimes she repeated, but I wasn't satisfied or he wasn't satisfied. So he said again, and then she repeated. Okay. So he felt, okay, she's heard me. And then she spoke and he listened. Same thing. So we did like that for about 40 minutes, something like that. And in the end they left hand in hand, they were really happy. It's really simple. We need somebody to listen to us. It's a sign of respect and love. You don't listen to me, it means you don't love me. You don't accept me. So powerful. Very powerful. If you repeat what somebody has said, like in conflict, if you repeat what somebody has said, simply that, you listen and you repeat what they've said, there's like twice as much chance that the conflict will be resolved. Okay, I'm going to talk about the program now in more detail. Leaders of leaders. So 4 kinds of fulfillment. Question is, how do we get it? In business, in ordinary life, there's so much research showing that we have to consider our workers, what kind of fulfillment, satisfaction they're getting. In relationships, what counts? Workers need to feel that in the organization they're getting affection, friendship, that they matter as people. They're getting appreciation for what they do. And they're empowered. They're given what they need to do, to take initiative, to do what they need to do. If we do this in relationships, the relationships are going to improve like anything. Have affection for people. Not only that, you appreciate what they did. I like that cooking that you did. I was really happy about that. That was good. I was really happy with that exercise that you did. Then success and abundance. The key is talent. Working according to talents. That's what this test is about. We'll give you the papers and you can take it home with you. Find out what your talents are, work according to your talents, and cooperate with other people who have complementary talents. Vedic principle. These are all Vedic principles, all. They're Vedic principles, but they've been rediscovered recently, especially in the West. Rediscovered that where individuals in an organization are working according to their talent, the organization will be successful. And when the organization works according to its talent, it will also be successful. Universal principle. Peaceful law and order. What does that depend on? It depends on values. We have to live according to values and ideals. Agreement. This is what we'll do. This is what we won't do. Values are very important. And then spirituality. Okay, is the big issue. Big issue. First of all, is spirituality real? Or I'm just here like a monk, I'm trying to sell something. It's not, it's just a fantasy. And second thing is spirituality relevant in business? Or is business for making money and then spirituality is for after business? These two big questions, very big questions. So modern society gives us the message that we're just matter. Everything's just mechanical. We're biological machines. So just enjoy. That's it. That's all life's about. There's no meaning to life, so you just enjoy as best you can. That's the message of modern society. Who was taught in school what the meaning of life is? Who was taught to think about the meaning of life at school? Okay, do you see there's something wrong there? What kind of an education is that? So the question is, are we just matter? Okay, I'd like to ask a question now. Who here believes in leadership? Who thinks that leadership is important? In the country, in the organization? 3 or 4 people. Anybody else? Okay. Who believes in creativity, creative solutions? More. Like the difficulty, the war in eastern Ukraine. It's a very, very complicated situation. Do we need a creative solution to that? Yes. Who believes in taking responsibility is important? Okay. So, can matter, material beings, lead? Leadership means doing something out of the ordinary. Being creative means doing something out of the ordinary. Taking responsibility means doing something out of the ordinary. So immediately we're talking about leadership, we're talking about creativity, we're talking about responsibility. We're immediately saying we are not material. We do things that matter can't do. We're not just biological machines. Something's been left out of the equation. And also, we make things that matter can't make. Like video cameras, like particle accelerators, like space rockets. So we're not just matter. And so leadership, creative responsibility, it depends on what? What's not matter? If it's not matter, it's spirit. We're spiritual beings, actually. And if we leave spirituality out of our lives, then our lives are going to be empty. If we leave spirituality out of business, then a business is going to be empty. It's not going to work very well. People are not going to be satisfied. They'll go somewhere else. People go where their needs are met. People in general, they're looking for 2 things. Meeting needs and fulfilling potential. These 2 things all the time. We have to meet our needs. We need clothes. We need food. we need shelter, we need, mobile telephone, car, and so on and so on. But we also need to fulfill our potential to be more of what we're able to be. Needs are basically about the body and mind. And potential is basically about spirit. So both are needed. We have a body, we have a mind, we have to look after them, but we also have to fulfill our spiritual destiny as well. So this is in leadership, or leaders of leaders, this is the essential principle. Spirit leads matter. Leaders of leaders know that spirit leads matter. If you want to be a great leader, if you want to lead leaders, then you have to live from spirit. And help people to meet their needs, yes, and also to fulfill their potential. So we need to understand how spirit and matter work together. I'm not talking about religion now. I'm talking about basic, common sense, material, scientific fact. We need to find a balance between comfort and progress. That's needs and potential. Comfort is needs. Progress is potential. And we need to find a balance between spirit and matter. That's whole life. So that's about the 4 different kinds of fulfillment. So when we think about happiness, ultimately we come up against this, that spirituality has to be a part of our lives. Has to be a part of our business, has to be a part of our leadership. But to do that, there's a quality of life. What is that? To give with love. Being happy depends on helping. Research shows that who's happy? Helpful people are happy people. If you help other people, you become happy. And the closer you help them, the happier you become. Basic fact of life. So what does happiness depend on? Happiness depends on giving. Giving where? Giving in the essential areas of life. But how to do that? We need strength to do that. To get that strength, we have to remember 4 essential realities. These 4 essential realities in life. First is the individual self. First thing to understand, I am creative. I can make a difference with my mind. I can decide I can think bad thoughts, I can think good thoughts. I can meditate. I can choose what I think, I can choose what I feel. That's the first thing, I'm creative. I'm not confined by by matter. The second thing is I'm non-physical because I do what matter can't do. Like recently I climbed the Popivan in the Carpathian, in the Carpatach. So I saw there were other people climbing Popivan, but I didn't see any rocks climbing Popivan. Only people. People do what matter can't do. And we make things that matter can't make, like information. Matter can't make its own information. We make information. And then we're spiritual. Who can remember when you were 5 years old? 5. 7. Okay. 10. 15. Do you agree that you were 5, you were 7, you were 10? You agree? Okay. Has the body is the same or different? Different. Your mind, your personality is the same or different? But you're the same person. So something doesn't change. My I-ness doesn't change. Body changes, personality changes, mind changes, everything changes, but this I-ness, the fact that I exist, doesn't change. Fact? If something doesn't change in time, what's that called?
Timeless.
Timeless or? Eternal. Eternity is the property of soul, spirit. So I am spiritual. I'm creative, I'm non-physical, and I am spiritual. I'm an eternal spiritual being. What does that mean? Personal existence, knowledge, and satisfaction, happiness. These are the main properties of spirit. And we're always looking to increase. That's the nature of spirit. That's the first reality. We have to be in touch. Not just know theoretically, we have to be in touch with that. We have to be creative. We have to do things that matter doesn't do, and we have to be spiritual as well. We have to understand what is spirituality. What is spirituality? Takes us on to universal self. The basis, it's a scientific fact that the basis of the laws of nature is consciousness. Laws of nature are abstract. What understands abstract things? What? Intelligence? Matter can't understand abstract things. So that whatever works the laws of nature is conscious and intelligent. And it works universally. We are all creative, non-physical, spiritual, conscious beings. So what's the basis of all these creative, non-physical, spiritual beings? Must be another creative, non-physical, spiritual being. I'm not talking about religion here. This is logical, scientific fact. Can't get away from it. Anything else is just avoiding the obvious. And then the third thing is relationship. We're parts of the divine, and we have a very close relationship. And when we turn to that relationship, then we get creativity, power, love, knowledge, inspiration. Another fact of life. Artists do it all the time. Big business people do it all the time. Einstein, he meditated like, I don't know how many hours, 3, 4, 5 hours a day. That's why he was as bright as he was. Because he meditated. He was in touch with the divine. And then the fourth thing is positive association. We need our sense of individuality. We need to have faith in ourselves. We need to have faith in the divine. We need to have faith in that relationship. And we need to keep our determination to do something great. So for that we need positive association. So these are the 4 essential realities. Individual self, universal self, the relationship between them, and positive association. Those are the essential realities. And then practical activities. So human life is like a tree. It's got different kinds of fruit. What are the fruits? 4 kinds of fulfillment. That's what we want out of life. In loving relationship, happiness in success and abundance, happiness in from peaceful law and order, spiritual satisfaction and love. The tree has got a trunk. What's that? That's this quality of life to give with love. Bees do it, flowers do it, trees do it, right? Birds do it. They're singing beautifully. They love to sing. And we do it also. People do it. Give with love. It's the natural property of life. So then we have to be rooted in reality. What's that? It's these 4 essential realities. Individual self, universal self, divine relationship, and positive association. And then there's 4 branches. Fruits don't grow on the trunk of the tree, they grow on branches. So what are the 4 branches? That's those 4 activities. Giving of ourselves in loving relationship. Giving ourselves in cooperation, instead of taking from other people, stealing, shooting, robbing, cheating. Give. If everyone gives, there'll be plenty for everyone. Giving ourselves in ideals, living according to values, ideals and values. And giving ourselves in our link with the divine. Not just enjoying, oh, bliss, bliss. Or, I want more bread, or I want more money. Oh, God, give me this, God, give me that. God's happy to do that. He'll give. Like, when we were young, we were asking, Dad, I want some money for a whatever. I want money for a new pair of shoes. I want money for this. I want to go here. I want to go there. And Dad's shelling out, right? He's working like anything and he's giving the money. So which of you now goes to your parents and asks for money all the time? No. So what do? Do you help them? That's an adult relationship. You know, the childish relationship is okay, but it's childish. So God is like our Father who art in heaven. So why do we have to keep asking Him? Why don't we ask Him, hey Dad, what do you want? How can I please you? That's what it means to give ourselves in our link with the divine. To serve and please instead of just demanding all the time. That's called yoga of love, bhakti yoga. How to please the divine and be happy. So that's when we talk about the program. So what is the program? When I'm with a group of people, so we talk, first of all, we talk about different kinds of happiness, and they get in touch with it, not just talking artificially, get in touch with it. And then talking about the essential realities, get in touch with their creativity, get in touch with their spirituality. And then the activities, we take them right through. Training in, first of all, talking about health and fitness, diet, what to eat, what not to eat. Why does vegetarianism make sense for me, for the animals, for the planet? Then listening, what we just did. Do some training in listening. Expressing ourselves, how to express ourselves so that other people will listen. Needs, how to understand my needs and how to understand other people's needs. And how we can help each other to fulfill our needs. We go where our needs are met. And we leave places where our needs are not met. So if you want to have a good organization, if you want to have a good family relationship, it makes sense to understand the needs of the other person instead of demanding from them. And if they understand my needs, then we help each other. Then you get a healthy relationship, dealing with each other as individuals. Success and abundance. Identify our talents. We help them. Like this, we give you these... I have handouts here, and we give you these tests also with instructions, and you can do it at home, and if you need help, get in touch, no problem. Work according to your talents. There's 3 problems, obstacles. First is people don't understand the importance of talent, working according to talent. Second thing is, they know that, but they don't know what their talents are. I ask people, what are you good at? Nothing. It's a tragedy. God gave everybody talent. You know, there's a story in the Bible. One landowner, he said, okay, I'm going away for some time. He called his 2 servants. He said, I'm going away for some time, and I'm giving you some money. So the money, actually, the coin was called a talent. It's a talent of silver. So I'm going to give you 5 talents. So he gave the 2 of them 5 talents, and then he left. And then he came back after some time, and he called the servants. He said, so, what have you done? So one of them said, well, I know you're a miser. I didn't want to lose the money, so I dug a hole in the ground, and I buried the talents in the ground. But now you've come back, so I've dug up the talents. Here are your talents. Giving them back to you. And then he said to the second, so what did you do? He said, well, I used those talents, I did some business, I sold some things. So here are your original 5 talents, and now I'm giving you another 5 talents. So the landowner said, oh, very good, you're a good servant. You've been faithful in a little, now I'll give you a lot of responsibility. So we've been given talents, and when we use them, we become happy, we become successful, and the talents increase. That's one of the secrets of being happy. If you work for 10,000 hours in the area of talent, you become world class. 10,000 hours, that sounds like, oh my God. It's not oh my God, actually. It's 3 hours a day for 10 years. That's all. Or 6 hours a day is 5 years. It's not that difficult. If you really, really want to be very, very outstandingly good at something, 10,000 hours in your area of talent. Cooperate with others. Not so easy. Like, I'm intellectual, so I have ideas. But to realize those ideas, I've got to work with other people who have completely different temperament. Like very active people. Oh my God, these active people. And they're thinking, this guy, what's the use? He just sits in the corner all the time. But we have to understand that we have different temperaments, and those temperaments are all essential. So we need to know how to cooperate with each other, how to get on with each other. Peaceful law and order. Understand the importance of ideals, especially just imagine if everybody in the country was truthful. If everybody followed cleanliness and purity, no pollution, no rubbish in the forests on the edge of the road. Everybody was kind to each other. And everybody lived simply, instead of thinking that they need a new, extremely expensive car every 6 months or every year. What would happen in the country? Economic problems solved. Ecological problems solved. International problem solved. Basic idea, these basic human ideals in the Vedic tradition that's explained. Truthfulness, first of all. Purity. Simplicity. And kindness. Mercy. Understand the importance of ideals. Agree on them. Make a code of conduct. Okay, we're going to follow these ideals. And then integrity. Act that way. Then there'll be peaceful law and order. But that's not enough. Something more. There's something higher. So spirituality means, first of all, understand spirit. Understand the individual spirit. Understand the universal spirit, supreme spirit. Complex subject. The Vedic wisdom tradition gives a lot of information, a lot of understanding, a lot of scope for realization. Actually, in the Vedic wisdom tradition, there's 4 different kinds of yoga. Yoga means linking or meeting. So how to link or meet with the divine. Through work, karma yoga. Through knowledge, jnana yoga. Through meditation, dhyana yoga. And through loving service, bhakti yoga. So bhakti yoga is what we practice. Yoga of love. It's a universal process actually. Christians also do it. They don't call it bhakti yoga, but it's the same thing. You hear, praise, meditate, pray, serve, worship, offer. It's the same process, universal process. Buddhists do it, Muslims do it, we do it. Even when amongst friends, it's the same thing. Universal process. It's not a religion. Universal process. And then people put a stamp of religion on and then they kill each other because the other group's doing it a different way. Ujas. Resolving doubts. Does God exist or not? Do I exist or not? So many people think that they're just waves in the brain. They think they don't really exist at all. I don't really exist. When I die, that's finished. It's just a biological system that came out of nothing. Resolve these doubts. And then the divine. Is the divine just light, energy, or personality? Resolve these doubts. We can resolve them. Link with the divine by those practical processes that are described, and then act as instruments. Serve. Help. The divine has a purpose. There's a meaning to life. There's a meaning to this world. Like this video camera, projector, the building, it's all nicely designed. There's a purpose. So the whole world is also nicely designed. There's a purpose. What's that? We can be happy and comfortable, and we can progress spiritually. So we act as instruments of the divine when we help people to live comfortably so that they can progress spiritually, both. Then we're acting as instruments of the divine. It's not that complex. It's not rocket science, right? Do you need a degree? Does it need a degree to understand that? I think degrees get in the way, actually. Honestly, I think that, I went to Oxford, went to school, good grammar school, went to Oxford. I don't think, after the age of 12, I don't think I learned anything important for actual living. I learned how to be a part of society that doesn't make sense. The one thing I learned at Oxford was how to think. One tutor, he forced us to think, and I've been thinking ever since. But otherwise, knowledge, I don't think so. Modern education gets in the way. That's it. That's the program. Thank you so much for your very kind attention, for taking part. A wonderful audience. Not audience, a wonderful group of people. I've really, really enjoyed sharing with you. I really appreciated your energy, your interesting questions, participation. I'll be really happy to hear from anybody. I'll be happy to, if you have some... The goal of this program, actually, is to make a network of positive projects. How to improve society. Are we going to change the government? I don't think so. Can we does that mean we can't change society? No, it doesn't mean we can't change society. We can change society. First of all, we change ourselves. And then these simple basic principles, we start sharing them with other people. Make a network of positive projects in society. for sharing positive principles with other people and helping them to share with other people. It's like networking, network marketing, not pyramid sales. We use what we're passing on. That's the goal. So if anyone's interested in that program, I'd be really happy. We're having a seminar. My very dear friend and colleague in England, he lives in UK at the moment. He's an international astrologer and a Vedic consultant. He works with a Dutch professor, and they do consulting with large organizations, helping them to work out their values and like that. So he's coming, and we're doing a 2-day seminar in September. That'll be September 13th, 14th. And he's also an astrologer, so he'll be doing astrological consultation as well. So if anyone's interested in that kind of program, I'd be really happy to share with you individually. You can write to me. That's my email. You can write in Russian or English, no problem. But Ukrainian will be a difficulty for me. I'll solve that difficulty, but it'll be more difficult. We're really happy to hear from you. That's my telephone number also. I'd be very happy to hear from you. Thank you very much again. Any questions? Anybody like to share something? Yes.
Can we just dare to ask you what is the sign on your face?
What's that stuff on your nose? Yeah, it's called tilak. The stuff is called, the sign is called tilak. It's an auspicious sign. It means that the body is a temple of the Lord. And actually we make it not just here, 12 places. Here, 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 here. 2 on the back and 1 on the top. It's getting protection and blessing from the Lord.
12 places of what?
12 places of what? This sign is here. I'm not going to show you, but it's there. I'll tell you.
I see.
We make these, and
do you have 12 signs?
Huh?
Do you have 12 signs?
No, same one. Very economical.
Okay.
But when we're doing it, we're saying the name of the Lord, different names of the Lord. So it's a kind of protection as well.
Can I ask, what makes a person a leader? What makes a person to become a leader? To try to fulfill this leadership skills?
First of all, what do leaders do? Leaders have a vision. How the world can be better. It may be a better product, a new kind of insurance policy. It may be a new kind of business. And it may be a new kind of society. But they have a vision. And they invite people with love to be part of that vision. And they inspire people to do something difficult. To make a better future. That's leaders. Now there's all kinds of leaders. Actually there's 4 basic kinds of leaders. There's leaders of love. Like mum at home. She's a leader. The kids are, difficult. Kids are crying, blah, 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 and mother's calm, and she's teaching them how to manage their feelings, how to think straight, how to become a complete human being. This is leadership. Or a team leader. So leaders in relationship first. Then leaders at work. They help people to engage according to their talent. That's the second kind of leader. Then the third kind of leader, they protect values. Like in the Vedic society, the rulers were leaders of values. Dharma. They protected Dharma. Anybody watching Mahabharata? No? There's a new version of Mahabharata. It's really quite cool. There's a Ramayana also. So, you know that the leaders then, Ramachandra for example, or Krishna also, they were acting as rulers in the sense that they were following Dharma. They were following the ideals and values that are necessary to keep society in place. And then the fourth is leaders of spirituality, spiritual leaders, helping people to make their link with the divine in various ways. Okay, that's 4 different kinds of leaders. But then there's a 5th kind of leader, leader of leaders. They actually understand all those fundamental principles, and they understand how the whole thing fits together as a harmonious whole, in harmony with the intention of the divine. Those are different kinds of leaders. leaders of leaders, basically the spiritual people, very practical as well. How do you feel that calling? A lot of it is because of what we've done in previous lifetimes. Somebody who's interested in spirituality in this lifetime has already practiced spirituality for many, many lifetimes. Some people want to be leaders because of ambition. And some people want to be leaders because they love other people and they want to help them. Mother Teresa, for example, she's a loving leader. Joseph Stalin, he was a leader, but not a loving leader. It was ambition. Huh?
Who knows?
3 million Ukrainians will tell you that he wasn't a loving leader. Not only, I mean, so many Russians. Artificial famines. Genocide. For example. So there's different reasons for being leaders. We have to look at our motivations. And to be a leader, we need to associate with leaders. And to be a leader of leaders, you have to associate with leaders of leaders. Yeah.
They have recommendations how to identify our best talents in order
Yes.
to enjoy the life development.
Yes, I do. Okay. Ksusha, can you bring that up? Unfortunately, somehow there was a mix-up. Presumably because of my fault. What I wanted to do was to do this test with you today. So there's a test here, it's a talent test. This is a list of talent or skills. Okay? So you cut them out. Here it's got очень компетентный, пригодный, неразвитый. So first of all, you cut them all out, and then at the end, on the second sheet, and by the way, there are instructions here in Russian. On the second sheet at the bottom, it says, хочу очень часто использовать, хочу использовать иногда, не очень хочу использовать. So first of all, get all these skills, and we arrange them according to those 4 columns. And we arrange the things that I'm really good at. Really good at, it means my best skills. I'm not comparing myself with Albert Einstein. I'm not comparing myself with anybody else. Just amongst my own particular skills, which are my best skills, my personal best skills. Okay? That's first thing. Then the second thing is, you take your best skills and you organize them in these 3 columns, whether you want to use them a lot, whether you want to use them quite often, and whether you don't want to use them. And then what you'll have is a list of some skills that you love to be good at. On the one hand, you're good at it. On the other hand, you love to be good at it. I'll give you an example. I can type really fast on a computer keyboard. I'm not interested. It's not something I love doing. I mean, I like dictating and the computer does it for me. Great. I don't have to do that. But I'm good at it. I'm also good at playing musical instruments, different ones, various different ones. And I love it. It's really cool. That's a talent. Working is something I've acquired. Not interesting. Driving a car I can do okay, but it's not something I love doing. Okay? So what we need is the things that we love to be really good at. When you work in that area, you'll be happy, you'll be successful, and you'll become more talented. Okay? So that test you can take back with you. You have to cut it out yourselves. Good luck. It doesn't take that long. And the test is really, really simple. It doesn't take more than 20 minutes to do, or less even. If you have any questions, you can always ring me. Okay? We'll give those out. There's one for all of you. I'm sorry that we didn't have them to hand out. I mean, for you to do here. And there's also a set of handouts here about the program. So you can take those with you as well.
So, Mr. Nemi, do you understand well that you have also this program, Leaders of Leaders?
Yes.
Yes, that we can assign it?
Yes.
And participate in this
Yes.
program?
Yes.
And when are you thinking to create this program?
I'm traveling quite a lot now. I'm going to Russia for 6 weeks and then I'm coming back. Actually, I'm going to Lvov. I did a presentation at the Lvov European Business Association about 3 weeks ago. and I was invited to do more presentations at different. Some of the representatives there invited me to come to their companies. Soft Serve, I did a presentation at Soft Serve, and I'm going back again to do something with a subsidiary of Bosch and something with a subsidiary of Hessel also. So I can work with, like with Bosch, I'm doing a short seminar for their managers on values, for example. So I can do presentation, or I can do seminars or whatever at companies. And then also we'll be doing this seminar in September, because I'm traveling. Then after that I'm going to India. But when I come back in the winter, then we'll be doing more seminars.
I mean, no, if somebody is interested in it, so how to when to communicate with
get in touch with me, and we'll tell you what's happening and when.
Okay, and as I understand, when a group of people will be quite considerable quantity, let's say, of people, then you will do that. Something.
Yeah. Just that I'm traveling now. I'm going to Lvov. I'm working there for some time. Then I'm going to Russia. Then I'm coming back. Then we have part of our program. We're starting a country community, not far from Kamenka. That's like in Cherkasky Oblast. So I'll be there for some time, 3 weeks. Then I'm going to India. But when I come back, then I'll be working more here in Kiev with groups.
Is there any, let's say, your written program that somebody can go, for example, in Lviv? For example, you have something.
A written program. We're getting a website up now. So I mean, there's written, especially in English, it's pretty clear. The different exercises, you can follow the exercises for yourself.
And what is this website?
We're just developing it now. It's value of life info, valueoflife.info. If you write to me, I'll immediately reply and I'll give you the addresses and everything. Well, I mean, it's still under construction, but the material is there. You can follow you can do the exercises for yourself, and we're putting video on them like that.
It was very spiritual. So, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You're a very, very nice group. Not so tough as I thought. Any other questions? Any way I can help? If there's any way that I can help anybody, I'll be really happy to do it. If you'd like to stay in touch, please put your names here. Say it.
Put it down or
Yes, please do. There's the handouts here, you can come and collect. Ksusha, можешь отдавать вот эти this. Please help yourselves. It's three sets. Sorry, 3 pages there. Yeah, please.
Thank you.
And on this, the Leaders of Leaders handout, my telephone number is there and email as well. If you'd like to stay in touch, please put your name. Here you go.
May?
Yeah. That's actually included in that stapled set in there. Yeah. Слушай, может... Да. It's 3 pages. 3 strands.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sveta. Thank you for your questions. That you have. You have the. No, you don't. Okay. Where's the talent test? Who's got that? Oh, you have. Okay. There's just enough for one each, I think. No, you can take this as well. This is different.
I have.
Oh, you got. Okay, that's it.
I don't have this.
That's the same. It's the instructions, and it's on the back of the talent test.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Very nice. Thank you for coming.
Смерть.